Well, hey, handy people, Dan here. Hey, I got a special video for you today on Gertrude, the Group A. A little bit of an explanation of all the parts that were put into it, and or at least most of them. And yeah, so come on along. Okay, in the engine bay, here's that Dave Samuel strut brace. It's a beautiful piece, very sturdy. There's the GT braces, and they're all painted to match. 740 intake. Here's that custom piping, which leads to this big intercooler right here. That NPR intercooler. Like I say, it's a nice piece, and everything fits very well. Okay, so it does have the 740 Turbo Maf down in here, and a large air intake, as you can see there. And it has an E-fan as well, all wired in, and a shroud from the 740 Turbo as well. I took a lot of parts, a lot of stock pieces. This thing is, like I say, 99% stock. It's just upgraded and improved. Nothing unusual. Probably the most unusual piece is the NPR intercooler, which is a non-moving part, but yeah. Got the AC system installed completely from that 93. And it's got a lot of cool little upgrades. Things that you normally don't, I guess, see all the time. Over here, it's got a 30 amp fuse running the accessory bracket, which, you know, just some safety features. You can see that, you know, it's very stock. It's very stock. But Stock Plus, let's call it. I like to say it's a Stock Plus Restomod. Is it the fastest car on the planet? No. But it's quick and it's fun. And it runs well. And it's a flat hood. Which, by the way, people say, well, what does that mean? Well, it's a special car is what it means. And I can show you right here. This right here, this plate says SO, that means Special Order 2476. And this is the color 200-2, that's medium blue metallic number 2. That's the color of the car. This is the original color. It's been repainted. When I pulled everything out of the engine bay and repainted everything front to back. And there was a couple of rust spots. One was underneath the belly that I addressed last year, and the other was behind the behind the passenger rear wheel, and I cut those out, and yeah, there is no rust on this car. It's very clean. Trunk is clean, interior is clean, interior is very stock. One thing that's kind of notable, and I'm sorry I got some stuff on the dash because I'm like I say, I'm getting that AC taken care of, but you can see through the new windshield that this dash is an uncracked 83 dash. And there's very few of those left, if any. I mean, there's repaired ones, but this one's original and uncracked. And I searched high and low for that dash. You'll notice this also has the later flush mount system, so that's a lot quieter than what was original. Also has a snow scoop, again another Dave Samuels piece, and yeah, and the seats. It's hard to see through the window. I'll crack the door here. The seats are really nice, black leather. They're not perfect, but they're, for originals, they're pretty amazing. Original shifter, It does sport an R Sport steering wheel, which is a really nice rare piece. And yeah, and of course the nice GLT door panels, etc. And the rear seat is just as nice, and it's in wonderful shape. The stereo is an aftermarket. The rear speakers are Volvo Dynaudio rear speakers from an S40 T5M, and they really sound great. And the door speakers are in OEM housings, and they're Kenwoods. And I don't know if I can show you those. Maybe I can. Yeah, there we go. And the whole system sounds wonderful. And it's just a Panasonic, I believe, is the radio. I'm not sure for sure. We've got the OEM gauges, and in there also is an AFR gauge. So sorry for the dim lighting. I can show. I'll attach some other photos so you can get a good idea what that looks like. Yeah, Gertrude's a beauty. She's a beauty. Picked up a period correct 1980s set of louvers. Got that from a good friend out in California, who owns a shop in Northern California. Thank you, Steve. And he owns Valhalla Volvo. So if you're ever up that way, be sure to stop in. He's a true Volvo enthusiast. My good friend Daniel, he helped me get that steering wheel and this spoiler when he was at the Valaka Trafen show in Sweden. And yeah, so I put it on a appropriate hood and with the appropriate badging. And then Daniel also got me this centerpiece that goes between the lights, and it's in perfect shape. The only thing I did to it was add the black stripes to match the rest of the tail lights. So very nice setup. Overall, the paint's I'd say 8.5 out of 10. I painted it myself. It's a garage paint job. Put hours and hours and hours into it. It shines well. There's some blemishes and some faults, but she's really a overall very nice car. It's currently sporting G70R 16-inch satellite wheels with 1-inch spacers, so that they work on the 240 platform, and they look good. I've had a lot of compliments with these. I think they came out pretty well. And then I added a little custom touch here just to thank all my friends on Turbo Bricks for all the help and guidance. That's a wonderful site if you're getting into these cars. I highly recommend it. It's got a working power antenna. Came out of a 1995 940. It's got power mirrors, and these seats are heated. And there's that cool steering wheel. So, yep, there's Gertrude. This will give you a better picture of the door panel. I guess the lighting's a little better here. So Gertrude's looking good. She's one of the things I did was I sound deadened the car, and I used bituminous foil on all the horizontal surfaces. And then on the insides of the door panels, 1/8 neoprene was hung, and also behind the rear seat, that 1/8 neoprene was hung. So she's quieter, and she is airtight. That's why you got to slam the door to get it to close. Well, not slam it, but I mean you got to give it some effort because she's tight. All in all, Gertrude's quite a car. I'm proud of her. I sourced a lot of parts to bring her back to her original glory, because when I got it originally, it had a coffin hood. So, Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope that this little update may make you more enthusiastic about your build. Thanks for watching.